Hi, I'm Steve, and welcome to Our Road to Camelot. In this episode, we are going to talk about budgeting for full-time travel, or I should say, inclusive to being a retired couple full-time traveling. So, without further ado, we'll get started right after this. I broke this down into a number of different areas, and I had done a lot of research of other people's budgets, went through our own normal expenditures before we even took off on this trip, and kind of figured out, okay, what all are we actually spending money on? So hopefully this is going to be pretty inclusive, and on this budget, even though with a lot of discussion with my wife, we're not necessarily disclosing our income, but we are kind of setting a budget set to a comfortable, hopefully for you, comfortable retirement income. So basically, the way this is working out, your income may vary. And if it does, you trim and you can add in different areas. So it could be you're basing yours on, say, mine's based on $4,000 for this particular budget. You may have $5,000 to $6,000 coming in. That means you don't have to worry so much about resort rates or entertainment, or for that matter, how far you travel in any given month. So this way you can actually add a lot more to it. If you are on a retirement income that is a lot less, maybe $2,500, $3,000, well, then you start finding other areas where you can trim back certain amenities that you may not need or want. Maybe you're doing more boondocking, more dry camping, more BLM lands. That could be the case as well. I know that's kind of a growing trend right now. So let's go ahead and jump into it. And you see my screen right now. I first have it set up for pretty much everything we have dealing with travel. And now, if you notice on here, I have a per month, per year, because some of these things are yearly. How much are we paying monthly, or it could be a monthly thing, and most of these are estimates, and like I said, because it's an estimate, you can balance here and there as you go. So let's start at the very beginning. Resort rates, camping rates. I budgeted for $900 a month. That breaks down to about $30 a night. Now you may think, well, I can't find a campsite for $30 a night, but you actually can. If you go back to the steps I take when I start looking for campsites, we're going to be joining some camping clubs like Passport America, where you can get half price. So we may also think of this as, okay, we've got this one resort that's going to cost us $50, $60, $75 a night. Well, you know what? Let's see if we can maybe do some BLM camping for a week that would then counter paying twice that for another week. We're going to be heading to Mammoth Lakes. I don't know if it's going to be this summer or next. Mammoth Lakes campground is over $50 a night for just water and electric. So if we decide to stay there, there's a really great, awesome BLM boondocking, dry camping, Corps of Engineers type site just 10 miles away that's free. So we spend a week free, and then we spend a week at Mammoth. We're still under budget. So that's the way you want to look at some of these things. I was just noticing, it caught my attention. I wrote myself a note that kind of threw me for a minute. I have this thing that adjusted from $1,000 to counter the truck loan. Same with the entertainment rate. We originally were not going to have a truck loan, so for the next 36, well actually less than 36 months now, for the next 20 some odd months, we have backed off. Now when the truck's paid off, we'll probably increase this again. So yeah, that's going to be our resort rates, $900 a month. Now entertainment would take in any kind of amusements, going out to a movie, watching a play, going to an amusement park or something of that nature, $450 a month. So with that in mind, if you're going to do Disneyland you don't go to all the other amusement parks all at the same time unless you find a way to save up, and I will talk about that at the end on how you could actually budget for that as well. But for now, $450 a month for entertainment. Fuel costs. Let's jump into that one because this one's actually pretty tricky. Fuel, $500 a month. Now, when I looked at this one, I'm looking at 1,000 miles per month. I'm looking at an average of $4 per gallon. Now, depending on where you live, you're going to say, oh my gosh, that's really expensive. He's way over budgeting. Or you might be in California and think, in your dreams, buddy, you're never going to find fuel that cheap in California. Well, like I said, it's average. And I'm averaging 10 miles per gallon. What I discovered is that our truck gets a lot better than 10 miles per gallon. If we're doing a lot of hill driving, we're getting about 12. If we're doing a lot of city driving or pretty much just flatlands, we're probably getting about 15 to 16 miles per gallon. This truck has been awesome. We've been paying here in Arizona a little over, well, $2.94 a gallon, but because we are buying gas at the same place that we're shopping, we've paid as low as $2.65 for fuel while we've been here in Arizona. When we've been on the road, we probably average more in the $3 to $3.50 range. I like to overestimate. We are talking about possibly going through California. Now, how do we deal with that? Well, maybe we won't be going 1,000 miles a month. Maybe we're only going to be going 500 or 600 miles a month. And that way it's going to allow us to make up the difference in the higher fuel prices. So like I said, give and take to make it all balance. Now gasoline is going to come into the mix now because we do have a generator, but I don't expect the generator gas to add up to that much. To be honest, that would come off the resort rates, because if we're staying at BLM land, we may be free on the site, but we might be paying $10 or less a week on gasoline to run our generator because we need electricity. Propane cost. This is a tricky one. Propane cost right now, while it's being cold in Arizona, is costing us about $30 the coldest part, when we were hitting into the 30s and 40s at night, we were paying probably about $30 every 2 to 2.5 weeks, because we're running the heater a lot. Now, I know the weather's starting to warm up. We actually went an entire month on about $30. Another month from now, we're probably $30 will probably last us 3 months. So overall, averaging across the board, we're probably paying about $25 a month for propane. So there's going to be times when we're going to be using hardly any propane. And like I said, we're going to go 3 months or more on full tanks. We have 2 7.5 gallon tanks. Those are 30-pound tanks. So I just filled them up. Both of them, we ran completely dry on both of them the other day. So 15 gallons of fuel at $2 a gallon at our local place here came out to $30. So, but like I said, these are averages and estimates. So yours may vary depending on your consumption of propane, but we're able to get through it pretty well. Dump station costs. I put $10 a month. We have yet to pay for a dump station. When we dry camp, we usually follow up dry camping with going to some place where we have either a dump station available for free, or we have or we're actually have full hookups. So we haven't even had to deal with dump station costs yet. I put it in there because if we did decide to do more camping of that nature, I don't know, maybe I should just move dump station costs up to resort rates, because when you think about it, that's pretty much what it is. We're running, if we're paying resort rates, we're not having to pay dump station. If we are doing the free campground, then other things come into play. You're paying for a dump station. But so far we haven't had to deal with that because we We don't do long-term dry camping. We'll go maybe a week to 10 days, because that's how long we could last on our tanks. And then we'll find a place where we can stay, enjoy some amenities, dump, get the fresh water, and then go find another place after that. So you might even think about that one as well. Vehicle maintenance. I don't know. We really haven't done a lot because the truck's under warranty, and we paid for the maintenance package when we got the truck. So we're going to be taking it in again in April, and it's not going to cost us anything because it's under the warranty and the maintenance package that we purchased. The fifth wheel is also still under warranty. To be honest, little odds and ends that I've done on my own probably hasn't even added up to $40, and this has been how many, 8-9 months, going on 9 months now, or 8 months. So yeah, so we don't, it's good to have that in there, because if you do have older vehicles, my son up in Montana, his vehicle maintenance might need to be more because he has an older rig, he has an older truck, and he's constantly working on these things. So yeah, good to have that in there. So I threw it in anyway, even though we're probably using our vehicle maintenance more for entertainment and food. But we'll talk about what to do with the excess if you do wind up with excess at the end of the month in a moment as well. In fact, you know what? Let's talk about that right now. I'm giving you all these estimates of what things are costing. What if you have a month where your resort rates are half as much as you expected? Entertainment, where you were out at a stream fishing, it didn't cost you anything but maybe bait. You weren't driving, so you didn't use as much fuel. You got all this money that you didn't spend for that month. Put it in a savings account. Because now, down the road, maybe 2, 3, 4 months from now, you're going to be at a place where you're going to want to live high. You're going to spend it. And you want to make sure that you don't spend it when you don't have to. So set up a savings account. We do have a savings account that we're plugging money into that will allow us to not have to be so tight on our budget at a place where we may want to spend some time, have some fun, and spend a few extra dollars. So yeah, have that savings account built into the mix as well, because hopefully you will have surplus funds at the end of each month. And in some cases, as we're going to be coming up with insurance when we talk about that, it could be that, we have that money now, let's pay it off all at once, rather than try to break it down on a month-by-month basis. So be thinking about that as I'm talking about this as well. Like I said in the last video, we're getting into living and utilities, food and groceries. I bumped it up to $380. We were less than that, and sometimes $380. I guess that's about where we are now. I'm thinking it might seem kind of high, but depending on where you are in the country, food and groceries, those do add up, and sometimes you don't want to always have to be buying out of the budget bin. I mean, I like the $4 or $5 bread, the really heavy grain bread. Don hates it, by the way, but I love that stuff. So if I'm going to get bread, give me the extra gluten. Give me the grains. I want to pick seeds out of my teeth, But yeah, those are some of the things you want to look at. Do you want to have the cheap store brand peanut butter, or do you want to go for the good stuff? I'm beginning to sound like I'm 10 years old. Peanut butter and bread. So we do have real food though too. So I mean, get the good shrimp when you're making your jambalaya, right? Yeah, let's. We don't always have to think tight budgets here. So and the funny thing is, eating healthy a lot of times costs more than eating unhealthy. And what's up with that? I mean, rabbit food, it's expensive, okay? All that lettuce and stuff. So all the produce. So, you find where your budget is and balance things around it. Because to be honest, that food groceries is probably the center of what you're doing. Everything else can probably be fudged around. And yeah, you probably could fudge around on the groceries, but you want to be able to be healthy as well. So there you go. Dining out, $200 in what universe, right? $200 a month. So, depending, we really try to stick to that, though I think lately we've been over that by a bit. Yeah, dining out, $200, a really nice restaurant. That's what, 3 times a month maybe. Some of you are thinking, are you kidding? That's my bar tab alone is $200 a month. $200 a dinner. Now, thank goodness it's Diet Coke for me. That's the cheap stuff. But dining out, $200. Yeah, that's it doesn't allow for a lot. So be thinking about that. And once again, set your budget to what's more realistic for you. Cell phones and hotspots. Boy, this has been a sore subject. The good news is on our cell phones, this last month, we've had our son on our plan 2 recently, and both his phone and my wife's phone have been paid off. He's going to be having his own plan now that he has his own phone, but he's been paying us for his bill as we've gone, so that's kind of helped us out. But mixed in that $250 also included, we have the top cell phone plan, so we have the unlimited data on our phone itself, but unfortunately that's not unlimited data to use for our hotspot. Let's see. So the cell phone hotspot, we probably have budgeted in there about $50, $60 for the hotspot, which we haven't really utilized yet because we haven't found a plan that gives us the data that we want. So we're kind of working that out and still playing with that. But that's our cell phone monthly use. Auto and RV insurance. Now, we also have our personal property insurance bundled into this as well. And we're going to try to get this paid per year. We have had them break it down to where we pay it every 2 weeks for so many months, and then we have a month or 2 off, and then we're back on it again. We're going through a company called Safeco out of South Dakota because we're domiciled there. And when you're looking at it, $250 for the auto and RV, $50 a month for personal property. That's kind of a standard thing. Yours may vary. If you're paying less than that, let me know where. If you're paying more than that, you might want to look into new insurance. So that's kind of what we're looking at in that one. Okay, let me go ahead and scroll up on this. Let's get to laundry. Okay, on the laundry, we have $40 a month for laundry. We try to get laundry done every week. Usually, worst case, every 2 weeks because it's about how much clothes we have. So if we don't do laundry after 2 weeks, I run out of socks. So yeah. Anyways, so we've got $40 down. That varies depending on how dirty the month was, how careful I've been with my shirts. So if they get too dirty, or I might be able to actually wear them more than a few times. But yeah, that's and different laundromats will change. Sometimes if you're around family, you can go and use their stuff. Awesome, but we're talking laundromat fees here. Hair and nails, as you can tell. I don't use a lot of this. I should. I need to go get my hair cut. It's been a while. Dawn, though, hair and nails is very important to her. I probably am $10 out of the 110 per month. Yeah. It's my life. Welcome to my life. Yes. If that goes in, I'm a dead man after 2 o'clock on Sunday. So. That's about it. Yeah, check that one out. Yours may vary. And then again, I'm sorry if it doesn't. So I'm in so much trouble. Okay. All right, moving right along. Dog grooming. All right, $40 a month. Now, they don't go in every month. They go in probably every 3 months for a thorough grooming. But when you think about that, $120 is what we usually pay for the 2 of them for a thorough grooming. So I just balanced it out to the $40. Once again, this is where the savings account comes in. I budgeted for $40. That goes into savings. When they go in, that $120 is waiting for them because that's their money. Okay, so that's our dogs, puppies. We do have a public storage in about a mile from us here in Arizona. And I'm going to hang on to that probably for one more year. Chris will be hauling a bunch of stuff out of there probably this coming year. And once we've been on retirement for our second year, I think we're going to be better off to realize, okay, we got stuff in here we really don't need. And that's when we start doing the final downsize. I've been hesitant to do it while we're here right now. One, with all of Chris's stuff in there, it's hard to move around the storage bin unit. And number two, we're just we want to make sure that this is what we want to keep doing for a while, and we're not going to wind up having a park model here and a park model somewhere else to where we do the snowbird thing, and now we kind of wish we had the stuff that we got rid of that we can now use in the new places that we get. So right now, yeah, $87 a month. It seems, that's not a bad price. We got a deal. We got in. We've been grandfathered in. The prices have gone up twice. Our price has remained the same. Very happy about that. Thank you, Coyote Lake Storage. If you're in the Surprise area, great place, Coyote Lakes. Sirus XM, you gotta have some entertainment. The fact that we are traveling full time in this truck, travel days, Sirus XM works out great. Especially there's times we're going to be in areas where there's no service, but you got satellite entertainment through the truck. So yeah, just Sirus XM is really a great service. We decided to keep that. HULU, we are paying the $11.99 a month for HULU. Netflix at $12.99 and Amazon Prime for $12.99. That's pretty much our entertainment package for TV and video. So I have one other one that we'll get to when we get to memberships, but I'm very seriously considering adding YouTube Plus, their service, and maybe dropping one of these. Because what I discovered with YouTube, you know what, I'll talk about that in a minute. Hold that thought about YouTube. Here we go. Let's get down to that. Truck loan. We decided to go with a shorter term, 36 months. So we've got our truck loan for $292. Once that's paid off, that one goes away, obviously, and that's going to be nice. So I look at this almost like a cost of living increase. Now, we're not collecting Social Security yet either, so that will also be like my cost of living increase when I finally decide to start collecting Social Security. So we've been able to do this on just our other forms of income. Let's get to memberships and other annual fees. Okay, so I put down all the memberships that I might at some day possibly want to be a member of. Escapees, very cool organization. We decided not to go with them right now. So right now it's zero. If we did decide to add it, it's $39.95. Oh, I didn't put if that's a month or not. I think that might be just to join. I think that's an annual fee, $39.95 a year. Passport America, we are members of, and we've talked about them a lot. If you didn't get it on a special, it's $44. We keep getting the special at Quartzsite and adding on, so we're good all the way to whatever year that is. So we're doing great with Passport America. We love that site. You learn how to use it properly, and it can save you a ton of money on your resort fees. Harvest Host, have not had a need for that yet. I don't see buying into something until we actually are ready to use it. But Harvest Host is pretty cool. There's a series of businesses across the country. A lot of wineries, there are museums, there are amusement parks, there are all sorts of businesses that will allow you to park on their property for free, and all they expect is you to check out their store, check out their museum, and maybe buy something from them. But you can stay for free. So it's kind of an interesting thing. It used to be more affordable. It used to be in the $40 range. They bumped it up to $79. When they did that, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to buy into it in advance. If we decide we are in an area where we see a bunch of them, we want to try it out, then we might pay for it. But we're going to need to use it at least 3 times before I feel it's going to break even for us 3 to 4 times, rather than spending money on a resort fee. KOA. We have only stayed at 1 KOA our entire time out. And that was the last time we were in Las Vegas in December. So we did not get a KOA card yet. I'm not sure. KOA discounts are not that much. It's like 10%, I believe. And KOAs are not cheap anymore. So I really don't know if we are going to buy into KOA. It depends where we are, what part of the country, and how many KOAs are there that we may want to use. There was a time we used KOA all the time when our kids were younger. We didn't do that. Good Sam. Yes, Good Sam is part of Camping World. Camping World, we've done a lot of stuff through Camping World, purchased things, and the Good Sam card has come in handy. In fact, when we were at the KOA was also a Good Sam park. So we got our Good Sam discount, didn't need the KOA discount. There you go. So that is $27 annually, $2.25 a month if you break it down per month. Yes, we are retired. We are AARP. That is basically a card for people, 55 and over? I'll just leave it at that. So there's discounts there as well. We've gotten a lot of discounts, even on camping fees there. Vehicle and registration for the truck and for the rig. We talked about this in the domicile video. So if you want to hear more about it, go to the domicile part 1 and part 2. We talk all about registering the truck and the fifth wheel. And those are the annual fees. We do pay them every year. But we basically have, I broke it down to what we need to save per month. So that's pretty straightforward there. The nice thing too, this registration comes in at a time when we are starting our, actually not starting, it's these fees are kind of due about the time we're ending our time at Sunflower, so we do have the extra funds saved up to pay a lot of the stuff off at once. America's Mailbox, yes, $189.99 for the, I think we're the silver, or are we the gold? Look it up. It's one of the two. You'll see it when you go to America's Mailbox. I find it worth it. The money that we save, the money that they're saving us by being domiciled in South Dakota, the ease of use of their mail service, I feel $189 an annual fee, $15, $16 a month, definitely well worth the service. So I don't even question that one. Here we go. Remember I said hold your thought about YouTube. Google storage. I'm a Google fanatic, I'm telling you. In a couple of days from right now, I'm going to be teaching the people at Sunflower, the Computer Club, all about Google. One of the things is that you can upgrade your storage. Well, I went ahead and upgraded my storage from the 15 gig you get for free to the next step up. And what's basically happening here is I'm paying $20 a year to get that storage. Well, because I'm paying that $20 a year, $1.67 a month, that puts me into what's known as a YouTube Plus or a Google One membership. I'm a Google One member, which means I get a discount, and a pretty decent discount, on the premium YouTube service. So the YouTube service by itself was I thought was a tiny bit pricey considering what it was. But the fact that I've upgraded my Google storage, I feel now that I'm actually getting the YouTube service is actually pretty decent. I kind of like that idea. So we're going to be looking at that possibly before we hit the road. It depends too as far as what Wi-Fi service we decide to go for. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Now, finally, emergency savings, because I wanted this thing to come out to $4,000. So Yeah, I could have put down $259 and what would that be? 61 cents. But now I rounded out 260, so gives our total 4,000. Always have a little bit of emergency buffer in there. You don't want your budget to be so tight. Now 260 is an emergency savings. That's per month. Not bad. I'd like it to probably be more, but then again, if you can keep your budget tight and then have a larger emergency savings, probably better still. But and as I went through a lot of these items, remember there are some buffers in there already. You have the fuel costs. Unless we're going through California and needing to travel fast through California, we got a lot of playroom in the fuel department. So keep that in mind as you're building it. That second number, the 4,283.98, that is all of the annual fee items. So out of that 4,000 a month, depending throughout the year, I have $4,283.84 worth of items that are annual. So I need to make sure that I am saving as we go to be able to cover that. So when you look at it, the annual things, all these memberships, Passport America, Good Sam, AARP, the registrations, America's Mailbox, Google Storage. If I slide up, that also includes our RV insurance and personal property insurance. So those are annual fee items that we could pay annually. So we want to make sure we're covered for those. So that's basically our budget. It's pretty much wide open for you to take a look at. Use the template to kind of determine what your expenses are going to be. Yours, obviously, everybody varies from each other. What's important to one person is not important to another. You may have more subscriptions that you want. Then again, you may have a lot less subscriptions than what we have here. So figure that out, play it out. Hope this information was helpful to you. And when you look at other budgets as well, I tried to combine as many different budget items that we needed in this one. So hopefully it will help you in determining yours and what direction you're going to go in. So that's it for this week. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Please share this with all your friends, especially those that are thinking of traveling. It's always good to have a plan before you go. The notification bell, only if you want to be let known when we're going to post again, every Sunday at 2 o'clock. And last but not least, hope you guys are enjoying your life as we are, and we'll see you on the road later.